Okay, hello, I don't know what the we're talking about Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice.
I'm going to move a little closer.
Oh, okay.
Also, introduce our guest, our first guest.
This is our very first Nothingcast guest. This is very exciting.
Hello.
This is Hunter.
Hi.
He likes comic books and movies and stuff.
I do.
So yeah, he's a good guest. So
This is my first podcast, so I don't know what to do.
That's okay.
It's just like a conversation that you record and hope other people listen
okay.
to.
That's cool.
So we just talk about movies. That basically is what
we just do our normal conversation.
Yeah, we just do our normal conversation. It just happens to be recorded.
Okay, that's cool.
So we're talking about Batman v Superman. So
Yeah, we just watched it. I don't know where to start exactly.
Okay,
with the review of it.
Why don't we start where let's just start where the movie starts, which is like in the desert somewhere, or is it the Metropolis scene? I think it's the.
It starts with.
It starts with. No, that was great. That was
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, his mom is Maggie from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Maggie.
Yeah.
I don't remember who that was.
No, I'm glad that they like integrated it into the credits.
Yeah,
that was a really good way of doing
but
it.
I would have preferred.
Because it had opening credits.
Well,
Not a lot of movies have opening credits.
I like opening credits, but I would prefer. I like when the title is like cool.
Yeah.
The title just showed up.
It was just
during
kind of
the credits.
Yeah.
I would have liked the opening credits, then the like with his parents being murdered, then the scene where you see his perspective of the fight in Man of Steel in Metropolis.
That was a really cool scene.
That scene was really cool, and then when that cuts to white. Then you put the title.
Yeah, the title. And make Batman like all black and like Batman-y, and then make the V like just whatever, and then the Superman all red, and then Dawn of Justice, make that yellow, blue, and red.
I think it just said Batman v Superman, didn't it?
Oh.
In the credits? I can't remember.
At the end credits, it had Batman v
Dawn of Justice. Yeah. But that sequence I really liked because you kind of see how Bruce is just a guy. And he's trying to do anything
he can run pretty fast
to stop these like people from dying in these buildings.
And he's like, get everyone out of my Wayne building, please.
And like, there's only so much he can do because
and that was I remember that scene. That's the scene where General Zod first figures out he can use laser eyes. And he shoots a laser below Superman.
Right. Yeah.
And then he starts floating.
Yeah.
And then because you see the lasers coming up on the guy standing in the building.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, like that sequence I really liked.
Yeah.
And well, it gets like weird because there'll be like some scenes with where it's like part of Bruce's origin, but then it turns out it's a dream.
Yeah.
That was
And then it's like
odd.
Like what? Wait, what?
Like you know how it did the whole. It shows his parents getting killed. It shows the funeral. He runs away from the funeral, falls into the bat cave. The bats all circle him, and then he starts floating.
He starts floating. I'm like, wait a minute, Batman isn't flying. Is one of Batman's powers. So I said that during the movie. Yeah. I said a lot of really funny things during the movie. I wish I was recording.
Well,
myself.
at least the one that was from the trailer. The one where he's in the desert. That's I think used to be Metropolis. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, because there's some buildings.
Most of them revolve around his fear of Superman.
No, but that one, which was really cool. Very Injustice-esque, especially in this one, because I haven't read all of that one yet. But you see these are Superman's superpowered police, and they look very similar to the guys in the movie that had the Superman logos on their arms.
The Superman.
And there's also those bug people
from Injustice. Yeah, and the bug people
are from Apocalypse.
From Apocalypse. Yeah. Is what I know of it. So they sort of were hinting at them. I was guessing Darkseid.
And then there's that part with the Flash in his dream.
Yeah, which I have so much to like.
Which is insane.
Say about it.
I think it'd be a great Justice League movie. Like not like the first Justice League movie, but like maybe this like the second one. A great plot would be that the future is just like total garbage. Like they do the Days of Future Past thing where the future is total garbage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is their.
So anyways,
okay. So like the Flash.
Yeah.
When he first shows up, it's that moment.
I thought that was real. For a moment, yeah.
Well, it's a lot like in Crisis on Infinite Earths, the comic.
Yeah. Okay.
At the beginning of that comic, Flash shows up like through the Speed Force, and he's like, "Guys, there's a bad thing that's gonna happen. Oh no!" Okay. And then he like disappears.
Yeah.
And because at the end of that story, Flash has to run really fast to stop the crisis on Infinite Earths, and then he disappears into the Speed Force and and they think he's dead for like years. So it looked like they were referencing that sort of because he was there's sort of like lightning coming out, and he had like a futuristic costume with like a visor.
It looked almost like the Injustice video game costume,
right? And then he's like
very armored.
And what I thought was really cool is he's like, Bruce, you were right about Superman. You gotta. Lois, she's the key. Oh no!
Yeah,
you gotta stop him. And then like that, and then he disappears.
Why is Lois the key?
It's very much like Injustice.
My theory is because it's like it seems like they're referencing the Injustice story.
Because
what happens in Injustice is. Joker makes Superman
think Lois is Doomsday, so his first reaction is to throw him into space, and then he's like, wait a minute, you're right. Oh crap! I just killed pregnant Lois Lane.
He accidentally kills Lois, and
she's pregnant.
Then he's like, oh crap, and ends up taking over the world.
No, first he kills. It starts with him killing the Joker, and then he's like, what's to stop us from killing all the other villains and like stopping ISIS and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not exactly ISIS, but it's the same idea. It's just like we're gonna stop terrorists. We're gonna stop. We're basically gonna like wage every war.
We're gonna stop war. We're gonna stop.
Basically,
all these.
He's trying to attain world peace, but he sets out with good intentions, but like
he takes it too far.
He takes it too far, and it turns him cruel. There's a great moment in the volume 2 of this. This is like the third one.
Right.
Volume 2 where he's twisting Batman's arm. He's like, oh, where'd you put the because there's a superpowered police. They make like the power pill. They make the superpower pill for them. Superman engineers that with Lex Luthor, and he's like, and Batman ends up stealing it so they can use it against him. And he's like twisting his arm. He's like, where did you take my pill? And then Batman's just kind of laughing. He's like, oh man, it's like I never thought there would be a day where Clark Kent used torture for the greater good. And it's like it's so cool just to see how you just see how weak
would sort of explain why like Flash, the vision with Flash. Yeah. Also kind of explain why, like I was thinking about why Batman wants to bring all the heroes together.
Yeah,
that might be why.
Maybe
maybe it was that.
Or maybe because he knows the movie is called Dawn of Justice, and he realizes that they have to tease the Justice League by the end of the movie.
Right. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know. That's a possibility, but I'm thinking maybe that's why.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. The thing in you both finished Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
So there's that part where Elektra fights the one guy with the size, and then she's like, because she's read the comic books, she's just like, oh, I guess my character uses size, so maybe I should take them from him and use them.
Oh yeah. That's how she gets. That's how she gets.
It's like, so that's how she got the size.
Yeah, it's like, perfect. I guess I'll use these. Because these are my weapons.
Yeah. Okay. So back to Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
I think I thought the movie was gonna suck and it didn't. So I came out with it was better than I expected.
I looked.
So maybe I should just think Civil War is gonna suck going into it. It's gonna be a cluttered mess of a movie. There's too many action.
I'm kind of glad I looked at reviews before I went and saw it
because then you're like, it's gonna be the worst. So whatever. I guess I'll just watch it.
It's got 26.
So if you go in with lower expectations, then you
said it's 23%.
It's 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. But Rotten Tomatoes is
it's just dumb. Movies aren't tomatoes. Come on, people.
Well, yeah, that's too low. It's a functional movie.
Yeah. It has a plot. It has characters. It has character development. It has plot devices. Like it has movie making things. It's got good cinematography.
There's a lot of cool shots.
Yeah, it's it's not broken though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
it's not a broken film whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. But like the Bruce Wayne origin and stuff, there's a lot of cool shots in that.
Yeah.
Like with the gun and the pearls and like
that was really cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that there was I said a lot of things too during the movie, but one of the things I said, there's like the part where they're outside of the Senate meeting or whatever. There's all the people protesting. I'm like, and there's like some people protesting, and there's like a couple Superman fangirls and stuff. Yeah. And I turned to Hunter, I'm like, oh, they're almost as on the fence about this as Man of Steel.
Yeah. And see, like, that's something the trailers kind of I don't know why I'm like, oh, the trailers made it seem like it's gonna be this, but it wasn't. But I guess because we expected the trailers, it seemed like they gave away the whole movie.
No, but they didn't.
They kind of just gave away a different movie.
Yeah,
it really wasn't exactly.
Yeah,
like it seemed like they were building up a lot of, oh, Superman's gonna pay for destroying Metropolis in Man of Steel because people didn't like that.
Yeah,
and so we gotta deal with that thing that happened. But then what really happened was there was one Senate meeting where the Senate exploded.
But Superman was totally unharmed, and he just kind of like he's standing there in that flaming courtroom, and he just kind of sighs. He's like, people are gonna be mad at me for this just because I was here.
Yeah. How do you guys think of Superman in this one?
I think he was good. He was good.
I like Henry Cavill in the role.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have editing.
Yes,
I have edits. I have the best edit.
What was the thing I was thinking of?
The Senate.
And like in Superman, I liked him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he was just really sad for most of it.
Yeah, he was just doubting himself.
Even when he was saving people and stuff, he was still really sad.
Yeah.
It was like he just has this. It's just like he was really depressed or something.
Yeah. I think he was.
And
he probably was though.
And saving people around the world is the only thing. It's like therapy for him. It just makes him feel a little bit better. About himself.
Because there's so much controversy behind him, and that.
Yeah, and I get that, and they had this whole thing where it's like, oh, the world's so evil. Everyone's always killing each other.
Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman's like, oh, I went away from man's world for a century because it was so evil and stuff. And I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff.
There's a part where
everyone's not everyone.
There was a part where Ben Affleck, he's like, it was Batman. He was like, oh, 2 years ago this thing happened. I'm like, oh, so they really were trying to release this in 2015. was my main thought with that. Yeah. And there was, speaking of Wonder Woman, there was Wonder Woman and the Howling Commandos. What he called them.
Which I think is kind of cool. But, well, it's that's
cool.
What the Wonder Woman movie is going to be. Her in World War One,
and then I have to put her in the water.
And then
pretty sure
she's gonna have to put a plane in the water, and then it'll freeze over.
That's why there was an invisible plane. In the movie.
Speaking of planes and water, who would win in a fight between Wonder Woman and Captain America?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
she's way stronger.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. They both look like America. Could she fly in this version?
We didn't see her fly, but she jumped pretty far.
Yeah, she jumped. She could leap tall buildings in a single bound.
I think she doesn't need the flying ability.
No.
Yeah. Because that's
what's the point of flying if you have a jet?
One, she has a jet, so why would she need the jet if she could fly?
So she could take Aquaman places or something like that.
And also, then she just has the exact same powers as Superman. And
she just feels like a nerfed Superman.
Yeah, she's just like a Superman that can't shoot lasers and stuff. Yeah, really, she kind of has her own thing.
She has her all her magical weapons and things.
She has magic weapons and lassos.
But sadly, they don't talk to her like in Clash of the Titans. Hi there, I'm a shield. That's a thing.
That would be dumb, though.
Imagine that. Is that in the Sam Worthington version? I feel like it was too cheesy not to be.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, because they were all dark and gritty. He had a black Pegasus in that one.
I didn't like that casting choice.
What? You racist?
It's like he gets the Pegasus, or he's like, does it come in black? This movie, everyone was super serious.
It was. I think in some parts it's lighter in tone than Man of Steel, because characters said more jokes.
Yeah,
there's no jokes in Man of Steel.
Perry White.
Just story.
Perry White was great.
They just made him funny.
He was so reminiscent of J. Jonah Jameson. Like there was one point where I said a lot of things to you. I said, bring me pictures of Spider-Man because that's what.
Yeah, because the whole thing with him not with Clark Kent going after.
And like there was one point where it's like every time he was on screen, he just made a joke. Like it's like crime wave in Gotham, water. Wet.
yeah, he had a lot of good lines.
Yeah,
and I like that. I think because in Man of, I don't even remember what he was like in Man of Steel. I just remember everyone was like, "Oh man, this Superman thing is really serious."
What do you do with that power? Is he? It's like people. I thought. Okay, so in the other one, they said it's like, oh, people always fear what they don't understand, and then in this one, she's like, people hate what they don't understand. She just said people hate, and I'm like, oh, so you're just really trying to drive the point home that people just don't like Superman. It's just like, by the way, Clark, people hate you. People have always not liked you. By the way, it's not your fault. You know, you're just you by nature.
What do you think of
So I guess Clark's job if he does come back, his job at the Daily Planet is done because everyone thinks he's dead.
Yeah, everyone thinks.
So if he comes back, they're gonna be like, "How are you back?" And you came back this around the same time that Superman.
No, but I don't know if anyone connected the dots. They're like Superman dies the same day as Clark Kent. And
they like it kind of makes sense because they say that he died and like all the destruction
collateral damage
from Doomsday
parts of the collateral damage. They said
that's not actually a lie. So
which is not a lie. That's a good cover.
Oh, I realized that Superman only died because Doomsday stabbed him.
Yeah.
So if Wonder Woman hadn't cut off his hand, he might have lived.
Is it Wonder Woman's fault?
So it's Wonder Woman's fault. So that begs the question: will Wonder Woman be put on trial in the next movie for cutting off Doomsday's hand? This is a serious question. We have to consult these issues.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares about that.
I'm sure Senator Finch was if she wasn't dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought she'd have like a bigger role.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. She was in it really briefly.
Yeah, like let the thing show that Superman is held accountable or whatever.
They basically had all the receipts in the trailer. So
pretty much.
See
Sorry.
This movie is kind of all over the place and kind of a different movie.
Or a different movie entirely
than what I expected from the trailer. What I got.
But yeah, I definitely. This is a movie that I definitely want to own, though. So.
Oh yeah,
for like the purpose of franchising, but also it was good. So
for the same reason I want to own like every superhero.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nerd. But it feels like I feel like there could be cool things in this universe later.
Yeah.
What I think is weird about it is that it's like an Elseworld story.
Yeah, sort of.
It's not like oh yeah, this is the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a version of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many DC universes right now.
Yeah, but it's like they can't just like Marvel for the most part is just kind of doing how the Marvel universe looks in movie form.
Yeah.
Like they're just doing the stories and the characters how they are from the comics.
But you're saying they're doing like a different. They're doing it feels like an entirely different universe.
Yeah,
this might be Earth 5 or something like that.
Yeah, this and especially
when really they're trying to go for an Earth 1 type thing, but like in reality it's very different though.
Yeah, because it's they're taking plot lines straight from other
comics,
other Earths,
and it's not like oh yeah, we're gonna do this story. It's like no, we're gonna do a new version of that.
Yeah, but like this, I'm glad this movie wasn't called The Death of Superman.
Well,
because the comic book was called that, and I know they had Doomsday, but that never occurred to me that they would kill off Superman.
No,
that's not a thought for that.
That's kind of ballsy when you think.
I know. I was thinking. I'm like, oh, that was a pretty ballsy move right there. You got
because Marvel's never done that yet. Killed off a main character at the end of the movie and had them be dead.
Had them be dead. Yeah.
I mean, they had Coulson, but he's sort of a side character.
But also, he's still alive.
And also, Superman's coming back.
Yeah, of course.
But but like they haven't really like.
So in Civil War, do you think someone's gonna die? Do you think
maybe?
Do you think they'll do the death of Steve Rogers story?
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
It's
Rogers.
They could definitely do it.
Why are you dead?
But what was I gonna say? There's like we have I appreciate them for doing that because that's something that we haven't seen in Marvel because Marvel always has a happy ending.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But this one it felt like
fine for Marvel, but
I like you can do like a not the happiest ending, but if it feels I'll only be happy with an ending if it feels conclusive.
Yeah.
And this felt conclusive. So.
Yeah. So the sad ending works in that case.
Yeah, the sad ending works if it's conclusive. It wraps up all the storylines. So.
Oh, also there was that other dream sequence that Superman had with his dad.
Oh yeah,
which was kind of weird. Like they just kind of throw them in there and then they.
No, Superman had a dream sequence, right?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Was he dreaming or was he just
imagining himself?
I think it was just he was just imagining what his father would have been saying and doing at that moment,
which is.
Oh,
it's.
I have to tell.
I don't know. It's just sort of weird because they just throw you into it and you don't understand.
Yeah.
What it is like? Oh, is his dad alive?
I'm like, I was a little confused about that first, but like, oh yeah, I know I've told you this, but I want to tell my version of how I think his dad should have died in the Man of Steel movie.
Oh yeah.
So my version is that like there's the tornado or whatever, and he goes to save the dog, and like. He's like, no, don't do it. And then, like, he goes and saves him. And, like, a whole bunch of people find out that, like, he's got superpowers. So then afterwards, they, like, they're saved or whatever. And, like, the next scene is them at their house. And, his dad is like, oh my gosh, Clark. Honestly, why'd you have to do that? You're like the worst. Why are you like so super? People aren't ready for this. And then he's like, I'm sorry, Dad. Would you rather be like happy with me and dead or pissed off and alive? And then he like walks out and then like flies away. And then
storms out of the room.
He storms out of the room and like flies away. And then he gets it like, and then like it's like they indicate that some time has passed. And his mom is like, yo, your dad had a heart attack and he died. And it's like, oh no, oh he died like hating me. And like he just like that feels really inconclusive for him. So like his like my father died, and then like he could tell Lois my father died believing that the world wasn't ready. So like
and so that would make more sense.
That would make more sense. That would be a better, I think, because that was one thing that really bothered me about Man of Steel, and I think that would be a better.
Yeah, it's such a contrived
because it's almost more sad than the Man of Steel one, where it's like he's pissed off and then he just has a heart attack. Like,
it's
he's just like
I like that too because it's like really like inconclusive, and so you feel really bad because like
the Ben like the Ben Parker thing in Spider-Man 1, where he's like, then stop pretending to be.
Yeah, where like the last time he saw his dad, he had a fight with him.
It was
and they didn't get a chance to make up with him before. Yeah,
so it's good to
so it makes sense why he would want to honor his father's traditions and stuff.
Yeah.
Where in Man of Steel, it's like. You should just save him. Like,
it's like you can save him, you know.
I think like he's supposed to be like a teenager at that part.
Yeah.
But Henry Cavill to play him, so he looks 34 or whatever.
Yeah, but he's got shaggy hair, dude. Yeah. Shaggy hair indicates teenage.
He's got the hip haircut.
I think that scene would work a little better if they had like the kid actor as Clark.
Yeah.
Then you might abide why he didn't save him.
Yeah, that would have been
because he would have
been scared. Yeah, the one that wasn't Henry Cavill, like that one. Yeah, the one that was slightly older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's young, there's like teenage, and then there's the one that like lifts up the bus.
Yeah.
And gets in the fight, and then there's Yeah. So. What was this movie?
So what was this movie?
It's really hard to categorize it because it's so many movies like smashed together.
Yeah. Well, okay. Like the title is stupid because it makes no sense. Yeah. What would you title it instead?
We'll retitle. Oh
my god, I don't know.
I would say Superman, Batman, and then some subtitle. I don't know what subtitle. They could go Superman, Batman, Doomsday, but then you would know how it ends.
Oh! I came up with the best title.
Okay.
Everybody hates Superman.
That's pretty good.
I think that would be
Superman has depression, and
everyone hates it.
Suicide.
He doesn't commit suicide. He
sacrifices.
He sacrifices someone. He saves.
It's selfless.
It's self-sacrifice, not suicide. Gosh. Yeah. Did they do the They did the opening, the murder of the Waynes. Was that like comic accurate? Because it was kind of like,
basically,
because he was like, because Thomas Wayne was about to fight him, like he.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Usually, it's like he steps in front of it and then
right
kind of thing. Like he tries to. I don't know. It's not always like he's trying to punch him, right? Because in like Batman Begins, he just the guy's about to shoot Martha, right?
Yeah,
and then he steps in front of it
for the. He wants the pearls, that she has, and he doesn't want to give them over for some reason. That's the way it seemed to me when I watched it. And so he stepped in front, and then he just shot him because he moved suddenly.
In the Flashpoint version, like how Bruce gets killed, but like Thomas is just beating on the guy, like douche.
Oh, there's an episode of Justice League Unlimited, where it's based on there's an episode where that's based on the Alan Moore story called The Man Who Has Everything, and it's this plant that like shows you your greatest desire, and like this plant gets on Superman, he's like imagining his life on Krypton and stuff, but then it gets on Batman and he imagines his parents like death, except like his dad starts beating the guy instead of dying, right? And so like it's kind of like that, where like instead he actually did beat the guy up, like so it's sort of like that, but so
that's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I had a thought, but I don't remember what it was. Somebody say something.
That lasso of truth. That was pretty good.
That was cool.
That was cool.
I like how we got to see the lasso.
Because she wasn't using the lasso first. I'm like, like she did. I'm like, yeah, lasso of truth. Yeah, you use that thing. Like,
Yep.
There's a lot of Oh, I remember. I like that.
They all did a thing.
Well, I like they all did a thing at the last battle where Wonder Woman uses her lasso, Batman shoots the kryptonite grenade thing, and then Superman uses the spear. That Batman made.
Yeah.
And so they all work together to beat Doomsday.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
They dawned of justice.
Yeah. Okay. So what were you saying?
Okay. I really like how Batman actually felt vulnerable in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's just like, oh, Batman's the most badass person ever. He can beat anyone.
Yeah.
He can beat Superman.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to try. But like, he actually felt vulnerable, and not just physically, like mentally too.
Yeah.
Like, because they had this cool plot point that I never considered, because I never really thought about how Martha and both Batman and Bruce. Batman and Superman have their mother has the same name, which is Martha. And then Superman's like, oh, I have to save Martha, and then Batman just like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that? Like, you can tell
he's like, why are you saying Martha? It's like, he's like, it's like, we have to save Martha. He's like, you have to save Martha, and he's like, what? No, the feels.
You can tell like how he's really mentally disturbed.
Yeah,
and just the mention of his mother's name like fucks him up, and he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, like he's like, this is like the moment he's about to stab him with a kryptonite spear.
Yeah.
And I thought that reminded me of the DC Universe Online 6-minute cinematic trailer.
Yeah, that was cool.
Where Lex Luthor is like, Lex Luthor, and stabs him with the kryptonite spear.
Yeah,
and like,
I did it. I killed Superman finally.
and then aliens invade, and he's like, I really fucked up.
Brainiac invades the.
That's a great trailer. They should have made that the movie.
I could watch that like a million times.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. Oh, we have to touch on this. Does Batman kill people in this movie?
Yes, he absolutely
He blows. There's that part in the Tim Burton Batman where he just lights a guy on fire.
Yeah, it's kind of
really inhumane.
It's kind of like the Tim Burton Batman where they don't really address it. Where like there's a part where he lights a guy on fire with the Batmobile in those, and then there's another part where he puts a bomb in a guy's pants, and then a guy explodes like a little bit off screen. Then he also like throws a guy off a building.
And he lets the Joker fall. Also.
Yeah,
he kills. He kind of kills the Joker. No, doesn't he grab onto his hand and it's a false hand and he falls? Is that what happens?
No, he grapples him to a gargoyle and then he's trying to like get away in a helicopter and he grapples his leg and then attaches it to a gargoyle. Yeah. And so he can't get into the helicopter and so he just falls to his death.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like, you know, in one of the College Humor Batmans, it's like he doesn't know what death is. He doesn't understand that he's a killer. It's like they show him like shooting guys, and it's like those guys are dead. What did you just do? And he's like, oh, they're just asleep.
He slits a guy's throat with his like his arm blades. Oh, I like that. There's a part in this movie where there's a couple guys coming at him with knives, and he's blocking them with his blades. And using the arm blades.
That fight was really great.
That fight was probably the best on-screen Batman fight like ever. It was just
I would say so too.
Yeah, it was like it was almost Batman, Daredevil reminiscent.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Where he like takes on
where he just takes on a whole bunch of guys and he's being a total badass.
Throws it felt kind of like it reminded me a lot of like the Arkham games too.
Yeah,
because like you'd like throw a guy and their like head would like crack on the floor.
But what separates like Batman fighting from Daredevil fighting is that Daredevil fighting the guys keep getting back up.
Yeah, that's true.
And he has to like knock him down like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you could like really feel the punches that Batman threw.
Oh, it's like
because that makes these like huge like banging noises whenever you hit people. And it's like
like you dropped a turkey on the ground.
Which you know in like the Arkham games, whenever you knock out a guy, just like So it felt a lot like that, where it's like, oh, that guy's down.
like you're watching an Arkham game.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, which is sick. I would have loved him to do more like stealth takedowns in that scene too. Yeah, but you see from like his perspective. That would be cool because we always see like a guy
like in Batman Hush. There's a couple things like that where you see his have you read Batman Hunt?
Yeah, I just did recently.
Yeah. It's like one of the first scenes is like you see through Batman's eyes and he has like a this isn't like a targeting system. This is just what he sees. He sees like pressure points on people. And he sees exactly where to throw these like sleeping darts and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, if I punch this guy here, he'll be like out for hours.
I think that's the beginning.
That's the beginning. The beginning is
and it's also like he had researched the goons and he knew about them, and so he knew that the one
guy this has like a childhood injury or something. It was something like that. He's like, oh, this guy this knee is messed up, so if I just like punch him there, he'll like die.
Yeah, like it'll cripple him. But like there's a part where he shoots. Well, his Batmobile has like guns in it. Yeah, and then he like shoots a bunch of cars and they like explode. And there's a part where he's in the Bat plane and it like. He shoots at like a truck, and then the truck explodes and rolls over onto other cars that have people in them, and they like all explode. It's like those people are definitely
but there's
I feel like Batman is like the College Humor Badman,
or he
doesn't realize he's killed those people. He's like, oh, they're probably fine.
He's like, what about your parents? They died, and then he's like, oh no, they live in a farm. That's where old people go.
Well, like, because Batman's he's psychotic, like he's insane. Obviously.
Yeah,
and so like
crazy.
I feel
psychotic is a 3-letter word for small minds. I totally forget the quote.
Psychotic, a 3-syllable word that
it's not a 3-letter word.
People use to.
It's like to explain concepts too big for
small minds,
or something like that.
Yeah. What did you think of Lex Luthor?
I don't know if we talked about he wasn't Lex Luthor.
No,
that's my problem.
He was like if Jesse Eisenberg from The Social Network was a villain for Superman.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was, and he grew out his hair a bit.
He did a lot of the same things that Lex Luthor does. He had the same motivations as Lex Luthor. But he's also like. They've also made him insane. Lex Luthor's usually a sane person, like for the most part.
Yeah. Imagine he's an asshole. I imagine in my brain right now, I imagine Lex Luthor with the voice of Tom Clancy because of
Clancy Brown?
Clancy Brown, yeah. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah,
Clancy Brown.
From like the Justice League. And
he's like a perfect. That's the presence. Like that voice creates such a presence, and that's the presence that Lex Luthor has. Yeah. But it's not like this. Hey, I'm gonna look at that. I kidnapped your mother. And look at that. Oh, look at these pictures.
don't drink the lemonade.
No, it was like it was like he's like, oh, if I call a bucket of piss grandma's peach tea, it doesn't change it. Tea. So he put a jar of piss on the desk that said grandma's peach tea. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. And then they all explode.
Devils don't come from below; they come from above.
Oh, did you notice at the end there they flipped? He ended up flipping the painting.
Yeah, I noticed that. So do you think at the end Batman interrogates him in prison, and I kind of like that they shaved his head and now he's bald. Yeah. That's
how he got bald.
I like that.
That's
cool. I'm down with that. But and then at the end when Batman's interrogating him, he's like, "Oh, all of space knows now. You're gonna look out. You better look out because there's bad guys gonna come. You're gonna get it."
And there's the Bat brand. What's your opinion on that?
Well, this is a crazier Batman. Yeah. He's more extreme and kills people. Yeah. So that makes sense.
So branding people is tame compared to what he usually does.
I think that makes sense
I think he says at one point, like...
They say at one point that the Bat brand is like basically a death sentence for prisoners. Like people will hate you in prison if you have the Bat
The version of Batman that I like is like... He doesn't kill people because it's like what separates him from criminals and stuff. Yeah. But at one point in this movie, I think he says, like... Oh, Alfred, we've been criminals for a long time. Yeah. So it's like he's just given up. He's trying to be subtle.
He's like, I know. He's like, I know I'm a bad person. It's like Superman. It's like, oh, the government is like Superman. You have to bring in Batman for his crimes against humanity, and then Batman's like, yeah, he's probably right. I am a criminal. I am a criminal.
They took a bunch of lines from Dark Knight Returns. Just randomly that were
like what?
I'm trying to remember now. There was one that I definitely remember, but I can't remember what it was. Like that I definitely recognized.
Who said it?
I think I don't even know. It might have been Superman. It might have been Batman. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, there was a point in this movie where I thought I would go full Dark Knight Returns because there was like a couple horses we saw like beforehand. I thought that was foreshadowing at the part where Batman rides in on Gotham on a horse, and a nuclear missile was detonated above Gotham.
Well, the U.S.
The U.S. Which is what happens in Dark Knight.
Was it Gotham or was it? Yeah, it was Gotham.
Are Gotham and Metropolis like right next to each other?
That's what it seems like.
I think so.
Apparently they can see the bat signal from Metropolis.
Yeah. No, it was across some water. So.
Well, it was across a river or something, but they seem pretty close.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be in different states.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Gotham's like New York, right? So
it's like New York, New Jersey.
And Metropolis is like LA.
It is like Kansas or Iowa.
No, isn't Metropolis supposed to be like LA though?
No, because it's like really close to Smallville, which is.
Oh, okay.
It's like. Yeah, so it should be near.
Wait, what's the biggest city in Kansas?
Kansas City, maybe.
I have no idea.
That's Colorado, Arizona.
We're definitely American.
Like there is a city called Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
Kansas.
I believe it. There's a city called New York City in New York.
Yes, I did know.
That's crazy.
It's so creative. It's so creative. It's like, oh well, the state's called this, so we'll call the biggest city after the state.
Yeah. They took a lot of moments from Dark Knight Returns, like the nuke that makes Superman into zombie Superman.
Yeah.
And then it gets better.
Yeah.
He got better really fast.
Yeah, he doesn't use the.
It takes him a while to recover.
He doesn't use the sunflowers.
No, they probably thought that would have been like too much. Well, no,
it was just the sunlight on him just like
It's like an iPhone charge, where it's out of power.
Well, I always thought of that scene in the comic was like the sun is blotted out now because the nuke went off and it's all cloudy and there's like a nuclear fallout kind of thing going on, but because flowers absorb energy from the sun.
Yeah,
absorb that energy from the flowers.
Which is kind of cool.
That's how I thought of it.
I just thought of something that like this is a future thing that could happen. So Lex Luthor traps Superman like somehow in like a room that's all like shady and stuff. And he's like, Superman, you're not on like an iPhone. I just unplugged your charging cord. and then like a whole bunch of like red heat, like the red sun lamps or whatever come up, and they're like, that'd be cool because Well, anyways, that's something I can imagine this version of Lex Luthor saying and doing. So
well, he'd probably know about that now because he finds the Kryptonian chip and learns all about Kryptonians.
He's like, tell me everything about every race on the planet. I want to know. I want to know.
So, do you think? Who do you think Lex Luthor was talking about when he was like, space, they're gonna get you now. There's more bad guys or something.
Brainiac?
Maybe Brainiac.
My thought was
because Brainiac was created by the Kryptonians, right? Or was that just one version?
I think so. I don't really know much about.
I know in like the Bruce Timm verse, that's how it worked. That's how it happened.
Yeah. He's always closely related to Kryptonian, so it might be Brainiac. My guess is Darkseid because that would be an obvious villain for Justice League, and that's the next movie coming out.
Yeah,
like the next one after Wonder Woman, I believe.
So I'm wondering where like the solo Batman film is going to fit in. I'm guessing after maybe the first part.
Yeah, probably after Justice League Part 1 because that's supposed to be next year.
You're right.
So they'll probably do that one and Wonder Woman next year, and then probably Batman after that, which might be Under the Red Hood, which would be really cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really find much out about like because there's the Robin.
Here it is. This is the Superman Mission Match storybook.
Oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever.
This is the greatest thing ever. You can't see it, but this is where I learned about Brainiac.
This is where I learned about like
Brainiac.
Superman's villains.
So you can like mix and match different things. Okay. So it's like, there's Brainiac. He's in a corkscrew machine. That's funny. So you can't see this. There's 6 different slides here. One of them is a villain, their vehicle, their weapon, what they're going to use it on. Some kind of like
how Superman stops
move out of left field, and then what Superman does at the end.
Yeah.
This is the best one, and Superman laughed at the defeated villain. like you could do the when suddenly a rain cloud appeared and like pair it with let's say like the nuclear missile. I know there's like a huge. It's like with a huge. One of the weapons is a huge torpedo, I think. And it's like with a huge torpedo headed for the Metropolis Aquarium. And it's like when suddenly a rain cloud parted and Superman laughed at the defeated villain. So
it's like, well, how are they defeated?
It was the rain, obviously. So basically the rain actually stopped the pesticides.
But yeah, I love this because it has a lot of it has all the classic Superman villains like Lex Luthor and Brainiac and Toyman.
So it's got Toyman, Mr. Mixaplix.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, him, yeah.
The prankster.
And there's a bunch of guys I've never
Brainiac,
heard of. Like the prankster.
Luthor, Titano. It's not Grodd. It's not Grodd. It's Titano.
It's not like
classic villain Titano.
It's like it's some other gorilla that I've never really heard.
There's Bizarro.
Bizarro.
And then there's the most obscure of all, Terra Man, who has a winged horse.
I'm guessing this is a Silver Age book.
Yeah, this is Silver Age.
Yeah.
This we got from our dad.
Yeah.
It was his when he was
more than 200,000 combinations. I better math that. So if there's let's see, 2, 3. You guys talk about stuff. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Another part from Dark Knight Returns that they used was the kryptonite weapon.
Yeah.
That Batman develops. Mm-hmm. Only this time it wasn't Green Arrow. It was just a grenade.
Yeah, it was which actually is really practical when you think about it.
Yeah. That's true because instead of
it's not like he's good at archery.
I like
this isn't Dark Knight Rises Batman.
But I like the Green Arrow helps in the in that story. And I like Green Arrow, and so I think it's cool to see him.
So I just fact checked this. It's 262,144 unique combinations with this book.
So yeah, it is over 200,000.
Yeah, it's over 2. Yeah. Well played.
But like, how awesome would it have been to see Stephen Amell show up during that fight with the kryptonite arrow and just shoot it?
Like they don't show him prior.
You don't show him at all prior to that scene.
That would have been amazing.
And then
does he have one arm or?
No, he'd have both arms. I think.
And he just goes and
but he has like the full goatee.
No, but in Legends of Tomorrow, because you're not watching Legends of Tomorrow, are you?
Not yet. I'm gonna watch it. Probably,
okay.
Well,
there's this cool part where
I heard about it.
Yeah,
where he goes to the future and Oliver Queen's there and he has one arm.
Yeah. And doesn't he have a goatee as well?
Yeah, he's got the goatee. And there's a part where they give him a robotic arm to shoot arrows and stuff. And it's like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
Have you read the Dark Knight Strikes Again?
No, I want to.
I heard he gets a robotic arm in that story.
Yeah, that story I heard was really messed.
It's crazy.
The art,
it's
like Frank Miller just got bananas. He got really lazy with his art style. like some of the drawings. Like I'm just gonna Google Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again art style, Strikes Again art style. Bad art is the first. We're gonna look up images.
Thing that comes up when you search it.
So this is Wonder Woman.
Ew.
I know.
Yeah, like all their faces are like really gross.
Oh my god.
It's like it looks unfinished.
Yeah.
It also looks like he just did.
He's definitely he's not like a draw. Like did he draw Dark Knight Returns?
I think so.
I think he did, but like this one, he's like, my story is so important that I have to rush all of my art. Like this is awful.
Wait, so
they didn't finish coloring the back here.
Yeah. So he draws and writes it?
Yeah, he draws.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think he did because this is like, come on, look at this shit.
Yeah, this one he drew. I know.
he definitely drew this.
This one shows like more of the Justice League and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, which it's more.
But it's also.
Oh my god! What the hell
is that? Plastic Man?
Plastic Man, I think.
And he has a. This is because you can't see this. He's got what do you call he's got like a beaters, like electronic beaters that are his mouth,
like for mixing foods.
No, he's turned his body into one of those. That is crazy. This is bananas.
He can do that, the Plastic Man. He can change into anything, basically.
Yeah. But that was pretty bananas, though.
He's the artist. I just looked it up now.
Those Dark Knight Returns as well?
And, both.
Okay, yeah.
Because Dark Knight Returns has actually good art, but the animated movie is like, I feel like how it really belongs.
Well, yeah, I really like the animated movie. The only thing that is kind of too bad is they didn't put in like the monologue, like the inner monologues.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cool lines that that are in those, and then
also they cut the monologue at the end short. They forgot.
Because they
cut out the my hand at your throat line.
Yeah, because he says it out loud, so it's not like as long, so they just use like a couple of the cool lines.
Yeah, he also says they write new lines, which is like, now you know what the rest of us feel. Like when they almost had that in this.
Yeah, they had a similar line.
Yeah,
in this. Like so that.
Yeah. It's like, now I know how the rest of us feel. Like, just like breathing in the thing, and like he can just like beat the shit out of him. And, like, that
was kind of depressing. Just like it was really slow moving.
That fight.
But it was really brutal at the same time.
That's true. Yeah.
More like every time they hit each other, like it was hard. They're like, it's like, oh.
I think it would have been cool. You know how in the comic, how once Superman has gotten the kryptonite like in his face, once Batman starts punching him, he gets like bruised and his face gets all fucked up. Right. It would have been cool to see that in the movie.
Yeah, I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
then you would like to have him like start
like Jared Leto's
to have him actually like start bleeding.
Okay, imagine this: Batman like beats up the Joker, and then he's like, "I wanted to destroy something beautiful," because it's Jared Leto. That would be beautiful.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how he got all the tattoos. He's like, I want to destroy something beautiful. Like,
maybe Batman gave
damaged tattoo.
Maybe Batman gives him all the tattoos.
I think they were talking.
I think that's his branding.
Well, none of them were bats, though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. It was all Joker related.
Yeah, so...
Imagine like Joker having to like what happens when he's getting these tattoos. Like
my theory is that Harley gave him the tattoos while they were like in prison together at one point or something.
Yeah.
Because Harley sees the Joker differently than everyone else because she likes the Joker. Thinks he's actually a nice guy who's just been
Mr. J
mistreated and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that from her perspective, she would see the Joker as just this damaged guy who was suffering, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only reason I can justify the damage tattoo.
And any of the other tattoos.
Any of the other ones are fine. I feel like Joker might give himself ha 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 all written all over and.
But that would take a long time, though.
Yeah,
just like. I don't want to do this in real time, but like, ha.
It'll only take a little longer.
Yeah, it would take way longer than that. But like, imagine having to do like every single individual ha.
That's one of my guesses. And then might have been while he was in prison. And he's like, what else is he gonna do, right?
Except playing his next breakout. Because who knows how many times he's broken out of prison. But
probably a lot. And they said he'd been Batman for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So
probably quite a few.
You've been Batman for 20 years, and we're just now hearing about you. Well, that's like what Lois Lane or someone says. It's like something like that. That'd be really funny.
He wasn't relevant to.
Yeah.
He just sticks in Gotham mostly.
Yeah.
I think they never go to Gotham.
Don't they only call him Batman once in the entire
They call him
movie?
Batman.
They call him the Bat.
They call him the Bat
for most of the movie.
Well, Perry White's like no one cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman,
which is the only time. But I remember him being called Batman.
Yeah, he never says I'm Batman.
Right. Which bring me the head of the Bat,
which is a real missed opportunity.
It's just the Bat. That's how they.
Because they're like, the man versus God, Dark Knight versus.
The Grass Gladiator match and
I can't remember what it says.
Recent history.
What all the things are.
This
Day
movie is
night.
it's like
black and blue.
Black and blue.
The other things.
This movie is going to be the single greatest fight you've ever seen. Kind of thing.
It's kind of not. It's like
John Cena versus the Undertaker.
It's like a tired Superman slowly getting punched by a old Batman.
It's like Batman in a huge metal suit.
It's basically
carry around.
the episode 4 fight in Star Wars between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Where it's like, these two guys are like the Master Jedi and the Master Sith, but it's like one of them's like half robot and the other one's like really old. So like the fight isn't actually.
Yeah. You strike me down, I should become more powerful than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I had a point. No, it was a joke where he was like, "Oh, bring me the head of the Bat," and then Superman pulls out his cell phone. He's like, "Yo, Ozzy, I need some help."
Ozzy
Osbourne. He bit off the head of a bat one time.
Yeah. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's a pretty stupid joke, but the movie's kind of sad.
I feel like this movie. Okay, who do you think this movie is for?
The trailers are for the mainstream audience. But this movie is for the company trying to make more movies,
monies and more.
Trying to set up a franchise.
Yeah, that's true. That's the main thing.
Because target audience though. Is it comic book fans?
I want to say, I think it's almost trying to be comic book fans because there's so many references to specific moments from the comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the trailers were designed to rope in mainstream audiences. Yeah, definitely.
That I think for sure because they're like, Batman's gonna fight Superman. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. And then it's not really.
There's all the parts in the first Man of Steel where it's like, is this really gonna? It's like, is that? It's like, oh, nice LexCorp Easter egg, but it's like this gonna be a universe. I don't know, but it makes it feel more complete now that they've expanded confirmed Wayne Tech. Like that was just kind of like an Easter egg.
Yeah.
But like,
then they expanded on those those Easter eggs in this movie, which I kind of like.
Yeah. I remember like originally people were theorizing it's like there's this scene where Superman destroys his satellite, so like Batman's gonna be pretty pissed about that. That's like that's the reason he wants to stop him. He's just like, you destroyed my satellite. Like beats him up.
Like, you know how much money that cost me? Like
$1 billion.
Like $1 million.
But I have more than
I have a lot of that.
It doesn't really matter.
That's like nothing for me, but still. You know how long I had to write a paycheck for that?
When I was a child, my father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah.
To go buy candy. He's like, here, go buy a chocolate bar, and he gives him $1 million bill. And then of course, like, so he buys it, and it's like we don't, like, the entire register isn't even enough to make change for this.
Don't go spend it all in one place now.
No, he just gives him like a 5. He's like, oh, here you go. That's the change.
No, he's like,
keeps the $1 million.
He's like, so he gives him the $1 million. It's like, so change for this is my entire store, and he walks out.
You won my store.
You won my store. Here's the prize.
Okay. In the scene where they show all the different other superheroes that they're setting up.
Yeah. Oh, that scene's horrible. I hate that scene.
Well,
it feels like a deleted scene. That's the problem.
It's too long because they're like, oh, we got to show how Flash is cool. We got to show how Cyborg is cool. We got to show how Aquaman is cool. They should have just shown like a quick clip of each of them. The Flash one, I think, was good.
That's the best one.
The Aquaman one.
The Aquaman one, be good if it was just if it was just a cam and then like you just
shorter.
It'd be amazing if it was just an underwater camera and then something just goes by like doof, like that, like through the water.
Yeah.
And then like really then a whole bunch of fish follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or something like that would have been
something cool, and like a shark and like a whale and all this like crazy stuff.
And then I think with the Cyborg one, just show like the first clip where he's like, okay, this is the first experiment. I'm trying to figure out this blah 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 thing.
Right.
And then you just show Wonder Woman reacting, and then that's it.
Actually, that might have been better as the after credits scene. Maybe. Maybe.
You know,
like they probably could have put something else there.
But there was no end credit scene.
There was no end credit scene.
That was better. That would be better than nothing.
Because I wanted, because they were like, oh yeah, we're building up this.
By the way, we're setting up a franchise.
That's what they're doing. So do it. So show us an end credit scene hinting at Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman or the Justice League movie or literally anything. Just show some hint at something else that you're one of the later movies that you're gonna do. But Patrick's gone. Okay, well, in the Flash one, and all the like different files. Yeah. One of them was called Red Streak. Yeah. And in the Flash TV show, for like the first half of season 1, they just call him the Streak. Yeah. And it's really stupid. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a hint at that. I was just saying,
eating actual food again. This is where it's at.
I was saying that one of the files from the Flash things was called Red Streak. Yeah. And I'm like, I wonder if that's a reference to the Flash TV show where they call him the Streak for like the first.
Or is it a reference to the Justice Guild where they call him?
Oh yeah, or that too.
The Justice Guild, yeah.
Yeah, the Justice
Streak is one of the stupidest names.
Yeah, it just sounds dumb.
Because the Hood guy was kind of funny, but like
it sounds like a
streak is like an accidental. No, but like a streak for me in my brain, that's like an accidental mark on a page. Yeah. So I got this stupid streak here.
I'll be back in a flash.
Because he's a streaker. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he is. We just never knew. Like every time he runs really fast, he just takes off his clothes because no one can see him. He's moving too fast.
Yeah, but like
puts them back on.
Yeah,
and his clothes would burn off anyways. If he was going those speeds.
True.
It's dumb. But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of...
Alright, so, I have a question.
Alright.
So, Wonder Woman, she could, like, cut off Doomsday's hand.
Yeah.
What if she cut off his head?
Why didn't you just cut off his head?
Yeah.
Well, he would have grown it back. It would have
grown back as a spike.
He would have grown back as a spike.
He just like throws himself at Superman. It's just, man.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah, well, yeah, I think it would be the spike. That's Well, I kind of liked how, in the one part, Lex Luthor's like, oh, you know, you just get Lois Lane, and then Superman will come, and then he pushes her off the building.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, because Lois is important and stuff, and then he's like, yeah, haha, and I captured your mom. And then Superman just like, oh fuck. Like,
yeah.
I kind of like that that moment where it's like, oh right, his mom's actually more important to him than Lois.
Yeah. But I like how it crumbles.
And he just like kneels down and he's like, oh fuck, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because like, that's it. Like, that's how you.
Well, that shows it shows how emotionally vulnerable he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once you tap into that, like those feels, he's done. Like
yeah. But also,
you don't punch him in the face; you punch him in the feels.
But also, that whole like scenario is kind of stupid because it's like, so you're gonna have to fight Batman now because otherwise I'm gonna kill your mom. It's like he could have. Why didn't he just go save his mom? Like Batman did it, and he did it fine.
Yeah.
Superman would have done it even faster.
Yeah.
No, but also, but like his mom was in Gotham and Batman was in Gotham, so like Batman would like, oh, you know, be funny.
No, he just flies.
You know, be really funny. He flies past him, and Batman's like, "Hey, come back here! I want to beat you up. Come back! I need to fight you.
I need to fight you. I built this cool kryptonite grenade.
Yeah.
Check out my cool kryptonite. Yeah, and this spear.
Aren't you gonna walk at me slowly and fall into all these traps that I have set for you?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. And it was all to basically just tell him, hey, he's got my mom, could you go save her for me? Like, well, I just do my own thing. Yeah.
What was he doing? What was he doing?
I don't know.
He was gonna stop Lex Luthor. He went to Luthor in the Kryptonian ship, and then Luthor's like, aha!
You're too late, Superman.
It's too late.
You're falling right into my trap.
You didn't see it, but Patrick did that head movement that I can't really explain. It's like a spin or circle.
It's like a half circle.
A sassy twirl.
It's a sassy twirl. Yeah. Because that's what this version of Lex Luthor. That's just how he is. He can do this. He can pull off the sass twirl.
Yeah.
I don't think Bryan Cranston could pull off the sass twirl.
No.
That's where the casting comes in. That's where they value cast.
Do you think we'll see Lex Luthor Sr.? Because he's Lex Luthor Jr. in this version.
I think he said that he's dead.
Yeah, I said
they said he's dead. But like, do you think?
No, like in a
he'll come back as a Black Lantern.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, in the Death of Superman story, it is Lex Luthor Jr. in that story, and that version of Lex Luthor has hair, but then it turns out he's just a clone or something, and then, and then the real Lex Luthor comes back.
Well, it's just we're going slightly
over an hour.
We're going over time, so we're just gonna
wrap this up.
We should probably wrap this up.
Okay, Batman, Superman.
We have to find others like us.
How would you?
So that we can make the Justice League.
Okay, what would you rate Batman v Superman? Give it a rating that can't be interpreted.
Okay, a cheese pizza with pepperonis on one half.
That's right.
That's my rating. That's gonna go on the box.
Alright,
only one half of the pizza though.
I give it I'm trying to think of something. I give it you think of something, Hunter.
I don't know. 15 movies shoved into one out of. Yeah.
I gave it 7 sassy Luthers. 7 sassy Luther twirls. Head twirls. That's what I get it.
It's not out of anything. Okay, so that's what we got.